What's going on today? I'll be trying to make some of my grandmama biscuits, and these are the ingredients I'll be using. I'll be using self-rising flour. First, I sift that and put it in a bowl. As you can see, I'm sifting it here. I don't remember how she made them exactly. It's been over 20 years. But I'm showing you that the sifted flour that I use, the self-rising flour. I've been trying to get this down pat. Now I'm using a fourth of a teaspoon of sugar. She would never measure anything. She always just made them. 2 tablespoons of the Crisco. And I'm getting my pan ready. Getting it greased down with the Crisco. And then after a while I'm going to be putting flour on top of that. That's so the biscuits won't stick to the pan. Like I said, my grandmother would make these, and I've been trying for over 40 years to learn how to make this. I used to try all the time, then I stopped for like 20 years. Now you see me putting the flour in the pan. Okay, now you see me putting the Crisco in the flour. 2 tablespoons of Crisco. I'm cutting it in the flour. Okay, after that, I just decided to use my hand to finish mixing it up. Like I said, this is that one thing that my grandmother, only she could make. And unfortunately, when she passed in 2003, she took this recipe with her, unfortunately. Right here, I'm adding buttermilk, a half a cup of buttermilk. She would never use buttermilk. She actually would use sour milk. So she would keep a jug of sour milk in her fridge just to make biscuits with. Right here, I'm trying to mix it up into a ball so I can get ready to roll the dough out. Like I said, after trying and trying, and never getting this recipe, getting it down pat like she had it, I just got frustrated and gave up for a long time. But I always wanted and missed her biscuits. Right here, as you can see, I'm getting ready to do my floured surface so I can roll out my biscuits, roll out the dough, and cut out the biscuits. Make sure I had bit flour on my hand. I put extra flour on my hand right here. Okay. What you're going to see me do now is start to fold in the dough. So I only wanted to make a few biscuits because I didn't want a pan full of nasty biscuits just in case it didn't turn out right. She never used any type of tools such as a rolling pin or anything like that. She just did everything by hand, and she had one special thing that she did use. And people would literally pay her just to make them a pan of biscuits. It's just how good they were. Unfortunately, nobody in my family can do this. Nobody learned it. Right here, I'm doing like she used to do. She had one special cup that she would use to roll out her dough and to cut out the biscuits. She would use it and wash it and put it up, and that was just the one cup that we knew not to touch because that was for her biscuit making. So I'm trying to do the same thing. Okay, now you're gonna see me get ready to cut out the biscuits. And how she would cut hers, you just press the cup down. You don't twist or anything like that. You just press the cup down, cut it out, and put it in the pan. And I think she told me the reason she would put sugar in her biscuits is for to help them brown better or something like that. I'm not quite sure. Showing you a close-up of how I cut out the biscuit with the cup. And this is that one thing I remember when I got my first house, and I would call her and ask her to, show me or tell me the steps to make the biscuits. She would try to stay on the phone with me and tell me the steps, and I still couldn't get it. So I do have all of them made. As for I put them in the pan. I'm just showing you a close up of how they look before I put them in the oven. I think I baked them at 375 for maybe 18 minutes. I can't remember how long I had them in there. Now sometimes she would put flour on the top of her biscuits. Like I said, I'm doing a lot of steps that I kind of remember her doing. And now that I'm thinking about it, she probably did that on the biscuits that she was gonna freeze and use later. Cause sometimes she would make up a pan of biscuits and freeze it, and later on we would have biscuits. So this is the results of my biscuits. Put butter on top of them. And she would always grab the ugliest biscuit, like the last one she made, and eat that one, just taste it out, test it out. So this is what I did. I grabbed the ugliest one, and I decided to test it out and taste test, see how it turned out. I thought it turned out all right until I started to taste it. And I looked at it and I was like, nah, this is not the biscuit. This is not hers. This is me looking at it like, no, this ain't it. That's what I was saying to myself. This is not it. Okay. So I tasted the biscuit and it was definitely not what hers would be. These are the rest of the biscuits. I was just showing you that. And I give myself a 3 out of 10. An epic fail on this.